Next, we're going to hear from Joseph Bentley, CEO of ACT Medical and an internationally awarded designer and inventor. ACT is looking to revolutionize the treatment of bleeding from penetrating wounds with a particular focus on knife crime. So give it up for Joseph.
Hi everybody, awesome to be here, and obviously a massive thank you to RS and everyone that's put on this incredible event. Yeah, it's huge and such an inspirational talk from Kaisha there. We actually have quite a lot in common, and what I want to talk about is a little bit about my story just to start, so you will get to know me a bit. But then I want to pose to you all 3 questions that I think everyone in here should ask themselves if they're thinking about starting their own business. So I'll start a bit at the beginning, basically the same place where Kaisha did. I opened that big brown letter on AS results day and it kind of hit me like a sled of rocks. I always wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to solve problems. I wanted to sort of study, you know, the classic science, tech, maths, all of that. Opened that big piece of paper and I went, that's not quite going to work for me. So I decided to pivot. I had a look and I said, well, look, I've got some ideas of what I want to do. I want to be a problem solver. I want to be creative. What's a good path for me? So I chose to study and transition into product design, which is this incredible course that teaches you just all about that. Find a problem, try and come up with a solution using a set of design and creative skills. And I was fortunate enough to scrape through in my A-levels to go and study product design with the absolute minimum requirement to go to Loughborough University. But while I was there, unfortunately, 2 of my mates that I met and lived with throughout that process, 2 of them while being in London were stabbed at parties. Both thankfully survived, but it really kind of brought to the sort of foreground knife crime for me, seeing what they went through, seeing what their families went through. Knife crime is obviously a very, very horrific thing that we currently live with in this world. And I don't know, as part of my final year, I wanted to, we've got a project where it's, is there a problem? Can you come up with a product solution that could sort of impact that? And knife crime was this one that really stuck out for me. So I kind of went back, and the first aid advice, if anyone is ever impaled or stabbed by one of these sharp objects, is to never remove that object. And that's because that's actually applying a lot of internal direct pressure to that wound site, and it's filling up that space that would otherwise be free for internal blood loss. The main problem with this is that we understand the average knife victim in London is stabbed 7 times. They have 7 bleeding holes that a first responder has to deal with. And so my question was very much, okay, well, if leaving the knife in there and stopping that bleeding through tamponading is a solution, well, can we do that in reverse? Can we put something inside of that stab wound? Can it be sort of inflated to apply internal direct pressure? And we're still asking that question. So something that looks, that's the wrong pocket. Something that could look something a bit like this, a balloon-based tamponade that could be inserted into a knife wound track by a first responder and can hopefully stop bleeding a lot faster than the current technologies that are used by first responding police officers or paramedics. And I decided to found a company called ACT Medical while I was, I decided to leave a medtech position after winning something called an International James Dyson Award. We were the first winners of the medical variety of that award, which sort of gave me the push and the jump that I needed to really try and turn that idea into a reality. So a little bit about what the process that I wish I'd gone through, and one of my advisors kind of sat me down after, I'm starting a business, what do I do, where do I start? And so the first question I was asked is, well, what is your idea? So what do I want to do? And I imagine there's many entrepreneurs or people with amazing ideas in this crowd today. So ask yourself, what is my idea? What do I want to do? What do I want to make? What service do I want to provide? What is my business model? And if you just type in on Google business model canvas, that gives you some amazing boxes that you can go into and just answer all of those questions, like who are your customers, who are your key partners, what are the key activities, what resources does that imply? What cost does that imply? What's your revenue structure? That's really part one, you know, what is my idea? The second question that I would pose that you should answer is, how can I protect my idea? Because I know that you probably all have incredible ideas that are going to be massively successful, and you know, you're making revenue, you're inspiring generations, but how do you protect that idea? You know, do you go down the route of getting legal protection? Do you look into intellectual property, say patents or design rights? Say you've got an incredible brand and it's all about the brand and no one else can do it the same as your brand. Do you look into trademarks? Do you go down that form of protection? Or do you keep it all as know-how, keep it as trade secrets? Don't tell anyone your secret sauce, your formula, or you know, that thing that makes your business special. How do you protect that about your business? So that's the second question I'd want everyone to ask. And I think the third one, which I think is probably the most important, but really understand what is your why. You know, why do you want to start a business, or why do you want to study that course? What do you want to offer, and why is that important to you? Who do you want to benefit? Maybe that's yourself as well. You know, it's not a bad thing to start a business knowing exactly what you want to get out of it. Is that experience that you want to have, new experiences? Is that growing your network? Is that making money? What do you want to get out of your business? And there's a fantastic book called Find Your Why, which I would recommend. It's a book by Simon Sinek, and I would recommend anyone who is interested in taking their ideas forward to have a look and consider that question. And once you've got the answer to all of those three questions, so what is my idea? Can I protect my idea? And what is my why? And I think anyone in this room or outside of this building that can answer those three questions has an amazing chance to start a business and make something really successful. Thank you so much.